Okay, hi there. Welcome back. Today's class will be about hip mobility, hip and spinal mobility. So we sit a lot. In this sequence, we'll be sitting a lot, but we'll be moving in the hips and we'll be extending through the spine, getting that length through the side trunk. Before we start our practice, I wanted to let you know about my online programs and workshops. Whether you're new to Iyengar yoga and want to learn the basics in a systematic way, a seasoned practitioner looking to revisit the essentials, or a yoga teacher seeking inspiration. These programs and workshops are self-paced, allowing you to make consistent progress and revisit specific topics whenever you like. You can find the link in the description below. With that said, let's begin our practice today. So we'll start in Sukhasana, so you can cross your legs. So when you cross your legs, cross right at the shin bones, right in the center, have the feet away from you. So you're not in like this, but you're bringing the legs away. You release your knees down, thighs down. And then just adjust the buttocks flesh. So you're sitting evenly on both sitting bones. So when you're on both sitting bones, then you're able to lengthen up through the spine. So making sure that you have enough height. If you're not able to sit up high and lift up, then take another blanket. I have a couple blankets here, so take time now to get the blankets, the support that you need. I have a couple blocks and I have a strap. You can even use a bolster if it's firm enough, but if you sit on a bolster and you sink down, it's difficult to lift up. So have something firm. This blanket is firm. You could also sit on a block so that when you're releasing downward for the foundation, you're still able to get that lift up. Front body is lifting up, back body is descending. And you're using the feet and the hips to stay well grounded through the pelvis. Okay? Let's start with bringing our arms up, Baddhanguliyasana. And with that, you're lifting, lengthening up, elbows towards each other. And you're extending up through that outer arm. So open that space in the outer shoulder. Gets a little stuck. So lift up there, and as you do that, bring the shoulder blades down and toward the chest. So it's almost like you're doing a little bit of a back bend, like that. So if you do that exaggerated movement, then bring your front ribs back. So front ribs and back ribs are parallel to one another. You don't want to be popping the abdomen out or popping the front ribs out. As you bring the front ribs back, feel that space directly behind the back, the front ribs, that middle part of your back, and lift up there. And then bring the hands down. Change the cross on the fingers. Again, be aware of your base, your feet, your thighs descending, outer hips descending. And then as you lift up and spread and open through that outer armpit area, that outer shoulder, and lift up. You can look up, press your hands up to the ceiling, and lift up more. And then when you come back, bring your head back. Watch your front ribs again. Lift the middle back. Squeeze the elbows towards one another, using the firmness of the arms to get that extension through the trunk. So if you're not using the arms, the trunk is not going to be able to really lift up. The lower back won't be able to lift up. So now bring the hands down. Okay, we're going to go into Parsva Sukhasana now. So take one hand behind you. If you're on a lot of height, let's say you're on 2 blankets or you're on a block, you may need to have the block behind you, depending on the arm length and depending on how high you sit. As you sit higher, you're further away from the floor with that back arm. So just be aware of what you need. You can even take the block so that this block is a heavy block. So it's a wooden block. So when I take my hand behind, I can press into it, and that will help me turn. So whether you're on your fingertips or holding the block, reach up with the left arm, inhale, exhale, turn. Bring the hand on the outer knee, outer thigh. Use that to feel that pressure against the hand, and then from there, lift up, exhale, turn. So you're opening up through the chest, collarbones are wide, your back shoulder toward the wall is moving back. And then turn the hand so that the fingers move back. And with that, turn your shoulder. Rotate that left shoulder or the back shoulder. Take a few breaths. So you're turning from the back, you're turning toward the front, and you're lifting the chest. Exhale, come forward, bring your arms up, coming to the other side, already turning, lifting, keeping that length, turn. Be aware of your base as you start to turn. This outer hip, outer buttocks moving down. Lift up, exhale, turn, bring your hand onto that outer thigh, outer knee, and the other hand back behind you. Inhale, lift up. Pressurize the hand, turn the back palm. Now from the pubic bone, lift up. So make your breath nice and long. So the front part of the body, the front plane of the body is lifting up. And then as you exhale, drop your shoulders, drop your shoulder blades, and turn. Turn the back ribs toward the front chest, broadening the front chest. Turn that back shoulder toward the wall. And then exhale, come back to the center, bring your arms back up, reach up, and then bring the hands down. Change the crust on the fingers. Change the crust on the legs. So sometimes we get in a habit of crossing one leg or crossing the hands in a certain way. So always do both sides. Reach the arms up again, turn. So you're turning from the back waist corner. This left waist corner is turning toward the right. Reach the hand up, press the hand. So really press the hand this time and lift the chest, especially the left armpit chest. Roll that right shoulder back. Just watch that the knees and the hips aren't turning with your trunk. Keep the knees down, thighs down, especially that left buttock. Inhale, exhale, turn. Take a few breaths there. Use your exhalation, turn through the abdominal area. So there's sort of a wringing action there, like you're wringing a rag, turning. Use the breath, use your exhalation. Let the exhalation release down toward the pelvis. And then release. And then come back to the center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, turn. Again, place the hand on the back, behind you on the floor or on the block. Press the front hand. And use the arms. Use the arms to access the whole shoulder girdle. So the shoulder blades are moving down, chest is lifting. And with that, lift the lower back up. Each breath, lifting and lengthening. Lift up to the middle back. Watch that the abdomen is not moving forward, but draw the navel toward the lower back. So the abdomen is supporting the back. Inhale, lift into the upper chest. Exhale, turn. Create that wringing action in the abdominal area. So you're not gripping, but you're turning. You can feel that turning action through the abdomen. Just massaging your organs. And then release. Bring your arms back. Come up. And then bring your hands down. Okay, we're going to do one more. So change the crust on your legs again. This time we're going to come into a Parivrtta action. So you'll raise up that left arm, come over the leg. Keep this hip down. So you're extending and lengthening. This side of the trunk is lengthening. Hook your arm over as much as you can. Press the arm, and now lift up. And you can see this part of the back here. This part of the back wants to lift up. So from here, I'm bringing that in, lifting, and turning. Keep the knees and thighs moving down. If you need to, you don't have enough height, and you need to have a little bit more height for that arm, you can bring your hand onto the block. Inhale, lift, and exhale, turn. And then come up. You're going to go to the other side, so take your block to the other side. If you're using the block, reach up and then extend and lengthen over. So from this waist, you're lengthening laterally, lifting the arm turning the chest. Now bring the arm over. Again, if you're using the block, place your hand on the block. If you're not in need of that block, then just place the hand down, but press the arm on that outer thigh, and then feel the part of the back, this part of the back that's quite tight. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turn. Use the other hand to press into the floor, and from there, lift the chest, turn. So you can feel that twisting more in the back, left back ribs. All right, and then release. Come back to the center. All right, now let's just take the legs and bring the feet together. You can come further off that blanket if you don't need as much height. If you want to come closer to the heels, you can start to walk the hips closer. Bring the fingertips back behind you. So I'm taking the blanket back a little bit so I can press the fingers into the floor, roll the shoulders back. Okay, here, pressing the heels, pressing the mounds of the toes, lengthen the inner leg to the knee. So you're pressing there and extending, widening here. And then as if you could just round the knee, round the corner, and from there, draw back from the outer knee to the outer hip so that you can feel that firmness in the outer hip socket. So we have muscles around the hips. Sometimes we use them, sometimes we don't. So this helps to bring some more awareness to those hip sockets because they really need to be activated. Sometimes you lean on one hip and then the other hip, maybe your legs are a bit loose. If you're very flexible, this can be a problem. This can be a problem even for people that have tight hips. So just feel that connection, press, lengthen, and draw back. And now reach your right arm up, bring your hand over. So have the palm on the leg, inhale, lift, and again, you're turning, you're twisting. Inhaling, lengthening, press the feet, lengthen the inner legs, lift up, lower back lifting, middle back, upper back, turn. So I'm pulling with this hand to give the direction, to bring my left side toward the center and turn. All right, and then bring your arms back up. Urdhva Hastasana, coming to the other side. Parsva Konasana. So this is cobbler pose. If you go to India, you'll see the Indian cobblers sitting this way, and they have their shoes here, and then they organize the shoes, they repair them, they polish them. Inhale, lift, exhale, turn. That's how they got the name. If you're sitting too high or high with a couple blankets, have your block there. Press into that block, inhale, lift, exhale, turn. So you can feel that turning from the back waist through the abdomen and then up into the chest. So you're wanting to do this with the perpendicular spine. So you're not leaning back, excuse me, and you're not leaning forward. Inhale, lift, exhale, turn. Press the feet, lengthen the inner legs. And then release. Okay, now sitting with your trunk toward the front, you're going to take your hands underneath your ankles. So not underneath the ankle bone, but a little bit past that. And then hold with the hands, lift up. And again, press the feet, press the heels, lengthen the inner legs, and lift up. Descend the top of the buttocks down and lift the lower back. So you're getting some space, some length in the back. And as you do that, lift the side trunk. So you're lifting up and up into the armpit chest. So as the armpit chest lifts, roll the shoulders back. As you roll the shoulders back, shoulder blades move forward. And then begin to come forward. So as I come forward, my forearms and my thighs will begin to touch each other. So I'm pressing down, pressing and lifting, pulling the ankles without lifting the knees. So keep the knees moving down. Keep reaching forward. So what I want to do here is lengthen. I don't want to just fold forward, but I want to lengthen forward. Keep the hips on the floor. Keep that extension, that openness through the legs, so the legs are engaged. And as I press into the shins with the hands, I lengthen forward more. Press the heels, lengthen the inner leg. And then take your hands out, walk your hands forward. With your hands forward, press the outer thighs down, move the buttocks down, and then start to walk the hands forward. Concave the back, look up. If you can bring the forearms onto the floor. So here, still pressing into the heel, pressing into the mounds, lengthen the inner leg. And then come up. All right, let's bring our feet onto the floor first. I'm going to go to the back of this mat, walking my blanket back, and extend my legs out to the side. So we'll come into Upavistha Konasana now. So have the support under your hips that you need. So this is a half-folded blanket. You can also have a blanket folded lengthwise. Sit on that blanket. And then lift up, take the inner thigh and turn that thigh. So you're right on the back of the thigh. You want the front thigh facing up. So you're taking the inner leg. So when we do forward bending, always the inner thigh is going back behind us, the inner knees going back. So here in this Upavistha, which will become a forward bend, you want to have that spreading of the back of the thigh, spreading of the back of the knee. And then just look down at your knees. You want your knees engaged, so drawing the kneecap up. Sometimes when we're doing standing poses, if you're a beginner, you can feel it in the inner leg. If you learn to activate the legs more, lifting the kneecap, pressing that back knee down, pressing the thigh bone down, you will begin to strengthen that inner leg. Strengthen the outer knee. So look at your front knee, look at the sides of the knee, and then look at the space. See if that outer side is much more narrow. Lengthen the calf toward the heel and see if you can create more space over time. If that gets too short, you can start having some pain there. Knees down, calves lengthening. And let's come into Parsva Upavistha. Bring your right hand forward and then bring your left hand back. And here, if you're sitting high on a blanket, you may need an extra support. You can take the block. So press the fingers down, press the hand down behind. Keep the thighs extended downward. So as if I were standing on your thighs. So downward pressure depends on how much you're sitting on. So I can get the backs of the thighs on the floor and the backs of the knees. If you're sitting on some height, they won't go there, but you want to have that direction. So first, securing the hands, inhale, lift up. As you turn toward the left side, keep this thigh moving down. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, turn. Crown of the head lifting up. Keep the spine perpendicular, so not leaning toward that back hand, but lift up. So pubic bone lifting, navel lifting, chest lifting, turn. And then come back to the center, coming to do the other side. Left hand forward, right hand back. Inhale, lengthening up. Keep the legs engaged. So the heels are moving away from you, toes are drawing back towards you, thighs moving down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, turn. Use the breath, use that exhalation to turn, getting that twisting action through the center. Make sure that backhand is pressing you forward so you stay in the center, and then exhale, turn. And release. Now we're going to bend the right leg and turn toward the left. So as you turn toward the left, have that backhand on something, and then take the other hand on the outer side of the thigh. Inhale, lift it up. As you do that, press the knee down, press the thigh down, getting that same length you had in Baddha Konasana, and then lift up and turn. Pressing that bent knee down even more, lift that right side of the lower waist and turn. And then come down a little bit, grab hold of your calf, if you can. Inhale, lift, exhale, turn. So again, you can feel that twisting action through the abdominal area, through the side trunk. Roll the back shoulder back. You can even take your hand at the wall. Pressing the hand at the wall, turn. All right, and then Upavistha, bring that leg out again. Take the other leg in. Reach the hand back. Inhale, lift up. Press the knee, press the thigh, that left thigh. Reaching up, lift up through the back waist corners, all the way up through the side trunk. Bring the hand onto the outer thigh. Inhale, lift. Exhale, turn. Take a few breaths with that, lengthening the lower back. And as you reach up, maintain that connection of the back leg, moving downward, buttocks moving down. Lift up through the lower back, but also lift up from the pubic bone to the navel, navel to the chest. Take a few deeper breaths, lifting right up through the crown of the head. Exhale, turn. And then come down a little bit more. If you can take your hand on your calf, adjusting the back hand. Even if you can take your hand on the outer foot, you can take your hand on the outer foot. So do what's right for you. I'm not there with you, so you have to see how can you maintain this connection with that back leg, and then use the hand on the foot or on the calf to lift and turn. Use your left hand, press the fingertips down and turn. Breathe into the back body, breathe into the back ribs, lengthen the front body and turn. And then come up, take your legs back into Upavistha, stretch out, and then bring the feet together. Come up, take your blanket away. Come to your mat, go into Adho Mukha Svanasana, so straightening the legs. Have the hands so that they're wide. Press the heel of the hand down, lengthen the forearm up to the elbow, straighten the arms, lifting up. Create length, that same length you had when you were seated. Move your hips back, buttocks down. Come onto the toes. Lift the knees, and then roll over the mounds of the toes and bring the outer heels down first. So get a nice opening through the backs of the knees like you had when we were seated. Keep lengthening the arms, lifting up and drawing back. And then come into Uttanasana. Walk your feet forward. Take your feet together. Be on your fingertips. If the fingertips don't reach the floor, you can have blocks. Lengthen the side trunk. If you don't need the blocks, be on the fingertips And then walk the fingers back or take the blocks back further, lengthen forward, and then bend the elbows and release down. Release the back of the head. Press the heels, lift up through the thighs. Move the front thighs back as if you were still on the floor, so the whole back of the leg would be pressing into the floor. Here you're pressing into the space. Keep the legs active. Inhale, come up. Urdhva Hastasana, bring both arms up, palms facing one another. And then bring your hands down. Okay, we're going to stand in Vrksasana. Just take your blocks to the back of the mat. We'll do a standing pose next. So stand in the center and balancing on your feet. So we're going to be balancing on one foot. So spread the front of the foot, spread the heel. When you bring one leg up, it's as if you're standing on two legs. So really feel that inner and outer foot. Bring your hands to your hips. Elbows moving back, chest is lifted. And then bring your leg up. Take the heel up as high as you can. Press the heel into that inner groin where you were lengthening before. So the heel is pressing in, outer hip is moving in toward that heel. So as you come up, toes are moving down. Pressurize that inner leg from the outer leg to the inner leg. You can take your arms out so you have a little bit of balance there. Aware of the foot, the movement of the foot, and then bring the arms up. Reach the arms up. Lifting up. Adjust the pelvis. Drop the buttocks. Lift the chest. Reach up through the hands. And come down. So I kind of fell down there. Sometimes that happens. So if you come off balance, you can, if you need to, you can use the wall. Okay? So bending the knee, getting that external rotation that we had when we had the legs on the floor. And from there, balancing with the toes. If you don't have your balance, be on the toes. If you don't have your balance to bring the leg all the way up, bring your leg up to the inner shin, inner knee, and then reach down and bring the foot to the inner thigh. So again, here, this is the Baddha Konasana, opening through that groin. Buttock moving forward and down, chest lifting. Bring your arms out to the side. And then bring that leg back, buttock forward, and reach your arms up. Reach your arms up to create some lightness there. So you're not sinking down into the lower back. You're not sinking down into the floor. Reach up, buttock forward, tailbone forward. And then bring the hands down. Bring that leg down. All right, stand back in Tadasana. In Tadasana, interlace the fingers, Baddhanguliyasana, press up through the palms. Elbows moving towards one another, thighs moving back, buttock moving forward. Reach up, look up. So create that extension through the front body, create the extension through the back body, pressing the hands up, elbows moving towards one another, thighs moving back. Now bring your head back, parallel. Front ribs moving back. Exhale, bring the hands down. Change the cross on the fingers, lengthen out, extend up. So the armpit area is facing forward. Outer shoulders are moving forward. So this area moving forward, there's a rotation there. So spreading the back. Stay with your breath. And then bring the hands down. All right, we're going to go into Utthita Trikonasana now. So following what we did in Vrksasana with that external rotation, bring your hands to the front of the chest. We're going to jump the feet apart, 3.5, 4 feet. So look down at your feet. Toes are facing forward. Thighs are moving back. As if you were pressing the thighs against the wall. So your kneecaps are lifted. Backs of the thighs are broad. Calf descending down towards your heel. Press the heel down. This is Utthita Hasta Padasana. Both feet are forward. Lengthen the arms, extend. So you're widening, you're opening through the front body, collarbones are wide, shoulders are moving down. Look at your hands. You want your hands over the feet as much as possible. So if your distance is too short, your feet will be a lot closer together. So lengthen the arms, keep that distance. And now bring your hands onto your hips. Externally rotate your right leg. Turn that left heel out a bit. Straighten the legs. Thighs back. Turn the chest toward the front. Extend out through the arms. Bring the right arm up. And then reach forward. Reach and lengthen over that leg. Keep the other arm extended. Bring your hand down onto the shin. Back hand onto the hip. Straighten the leg. Draw the kneecap up. Lengthen the side trunk. Bringing the top ribs in. Keep lengthening. Keep active through the legs. Turn the chest. Now press down into that bottom hand. So I'm on the index finger and that rounded part of the hand. Press down, connect the arm into the shoulder, turn the shoulder, and bring the arm up. Stay with your breath. And then inhale, preparing to come up, turn your feet, hands on your hips. We'll do the other side. So come back to Utthita Hasta Padasana. Lengthen the arms, keep the wrists neutral, extend through the fingers. Keep the legs active. So the thighs are moving back, inner thighs are lifting up. So this inner thigh is moving toward the outer thigh. So there's a lift from the inner leg, and the outer legs are firm, moving toward the inner leg. So you feel this compact action in the hip. Buttocks moving down, pubic bones lifting up, extend the arms out. Now press into the back heel, externally rotate the front leg. So you're turning the whole foot, you're turning the shin, and you're turning the thigh. As you turn the thigh, this outer thigh moves down, that back buttock moves down and forward. Okay, get that firmness there where you had when you had your foot on the inner leg for Vrksasana. Okay, now extend, press the foot into the floor, front foot, back foot, lift up, and then as you go forward, deepen this groin. So there's a space that's being created in that between the hip joint and the pelvis. Deepen, back hand on your rib cage. Bring your hand down again. Now press, bring the ribs down, lengthen that side trunk. Turn the chest, roll that bottom shoulder back, and lift up. Reach up from that bottom hand, pressing down, lift up without lifting the right ribs up, turn the chest and look up. Keep that back hip moving forward, front thigh moving back. Now to come up, come back to the feet, energize through the legs, activate the legs, lift up, and then turn. Turn the heels, jump the feet together. Stand back in Tadasana. Let's come to Ardha Uttanasana. So take your hands on your elbows and come forward. Holding the arms, draw yourself down. Extend the arms out. Change the cross on the arms. Holding the elbows, draw the upper arms down. Lift the backs of the thighs, and at the same time, press your heels into the floor. So feel the mounds of the toes, feel the heel, lift the kneecaps, move the thighs back, and lift the backs of the thighs to the lower buttock. Lift the lower buttock. Extend the arms out. Inhale, come up, Urdhva Baddhanguliyasana, and then bring the hands down, bring the feet together. Okay, now we're going to walk your feet apart again. You can walk or step apart. So here I walk the feet apart because I have those blocks there. So I'm going to turn toward the right. So bringing that left heel back, turning toward the right, adjusting that back foot. So now I'm turning toward that front leg. And from here, hands on your hips, elbows moving towards one another. Lift the chest. Extend the arms. Keep pressing into that back foot. Lengthen over the front leg. Keep that compactness in the hips. Inhale, come up. Hands on the hips. Turn forward. And then we'll do the other side. So turning, pivoting to the other side. Lift that back heel. Turn that back hip. Hands on the buttocks. Elbows moving towards one another. So you start to widen through the front chest. Keep that width. Bring your arms up. And then hinge forward, lengthening. Keep extending through the arms as you extend through that back leg. Come parallel over the front leg. Inhale, come up. Hands on your hips, turn. Let's go back to the first side. Turn, pivot. And now take the hands behind you. Hold on to the elbows. Press the arms into the back ribs, lift up through the chest, and then from there, hinge forward, deepening that front groin. Keep that awareness in the back heel, pressing the back heel as you lengthen forward. Inhale, come up, turn the feet, and then turn to do the other side. Get that compact action through the hips so the outer thighs are moving towards one another. Change the cross on your arms. Lean back, lift up. Exhale, come over that front leg. Stabilize with the mound of the big toe of the front foot. Press that down strongly. Press back through the back heel. Lengthen the crown forward so the tailbone is moving back towards your back heel and the crown of the head moving forward. Compact legs. Stay with your breath. Inhale, come up. Turn the feet. Take the legs a little bit wider. Prasarita Padottanasana. Bring your arms up. Come forward. Fingertips on the floor. Be on the outer edges of the feet. Lift up through the arches, lift up through the ankles, lift up through the inner leg. And then bring your fingertips back behind you. Bend the elbows. And bring the crown of the head down. So the crown of the head may not reach the floor. If it doesn't, just have the crown facing the floor. Press the hands down, lift the shoulders up. Let the neck lengthen. Keep the legs active. I'm going to come up, bring my feet a little bit closer so I can get a little bit more length through the trunk. So if the legs are too far apart and you're not able to lengthen the trunk, the back will just round. So I brought my legs a little bit closer, and then I'm going to bring the elbows back so the elbows are parallel to one another. Elbows facing the back wall, and you keep the firmness on the outer arm. And then from there, let the upper back descend down. Let the crown face the floor. Feel the weight in the front of the foot, in the heel. Lift the kneecaps up. Activate the thighs. Lift the backs of the thighs up. And then come forward, straighten the arms. Walk the hands forward, straighten the arms again. Look up. Bring the hands onto the hips. Inhale, come up. Okay, to come out, bring the heels in, toes in, and then jump the feet together. Okay, because that's a wider stride. You don't want to jump your feet together. Okay, now we're going to come down on the floor. So we're going to sit in Virasana. So I'm going to turn this direction. Depending on your body and your ankles, you can have a blanket and fold the blanket, narrow edge, so it creates about this much height. And you can have that blanket between your ankle bones. So you're sitting between the heels. Now, if that's not enough, then you can take a block and sit on the block so that you're sitting on that block between the ankles. Take the flesh of the buttocks out. Thighs are parallel to one another. And then bring the hands on the little finger side, little toe side of the foot. Press down and lift up through the chest. Just be there with your breath, thighs down, outer hips down, front of the ankles, front of the foot. Bring your right arm up, bring your hand back behind you. Now, if you're on a block, you may need that block as well behind you. So have the block. Inhale, lift, exhale, turn. Press the hand on that outer knee, outer thigh. Inhale, lifting, exhale, turning. So you want to spread the back. So from the center of the spine, the right side is spreading to the right. Turn the chest. Use the hand on the thigh. Use that strongly. So there's a little bit of a fulcrum there. Press and lift. Turn. And exhale, come back to the center. Exhaling, moving to the other side. Press the hand against the outer leg. Inhale, lift. Exhale, turn. Roll your right shoulder back. Keep descending that left thigh, left hip. And from there, you reach up through the left side and turn. And then release. All right, extend the legs out. Now you bend the right knee. We'll come into a forward bend. You're going to raise the left arm up. Come forward, take hold of the foot, walk down a little bit further. So you're getting a deep bend here at the hip socket. Keep this thigh moving toward the leg. You can take the hand on the outer foot. Exhale, turn the chest. Keep that knee and that thigh moving toward the upper chest and turn. And now, with this arm extended, lengthen the arm, bring the arm in front of the shin, take the hand back, and then take the other arm back and catch. Okay, from here, you can turn again, turn the chest, and then begin to go forward. As you go forward, move the shoulders so they're both parallel to the floor. If that was difficult for you to catch, you can take the arm, have the strap in one hand, take the other hand and hold onto that strap. So now I'm holding the strap, and I bring that hand as close to that other hand as I can, turn, and then release it more so that I can bring the shoulder down. Okay, coming forward. Keep both hips on that block. Lengthening the crown of the head forward. Push the arm into the shin and extend forward. Lengthen the side trunk. Lengthen the back body. Stay with your breath. And then release. Extend the leg out. Take the foot back. Reach the arms up. One hand on your hip. Take the other arm forward. Catch the foot. And as you catch the foot, walk that arm down further so your upper arm is coming on the inside of the leg. You take the hand on the outer foot too. Pull up a little bit. Get a little bit more extension. So you release this flesh on the inside and then turn. So now I'm pressing the leg into the arm, into that armpit area, and turning the chest more. And then come back. Now walk the hand down, bend the elbow, take the hand back and catch the fingers, and then turn. So depending on your flexibility, if you can catch hold of the wrist, and you'll hold on to the wrist, so walk your hand down, and from there, open the chest. Or use that strap as I showed you on the other side, and then turn. Move both shoulders so they're more parallel to the floor, and lengthen forward. Press that standing foot into the floor. Press the arm back to the shin and extend. And then come back into that twist. Bring the arms up. Come forward, catch hold of the feet. Concave the back, lift up. And then you're going to come off the block, but you're going to keep the block. Bend the knees. Take the other block back so you don't lay over that. Lying on your back, bring your feet in. Be on the toes so you can bring the feet in as far as you can. And then lift up. Roll the shoulders under. So one at a time, I'm tucking the shoulders, rolling them under, pressing the toes up. And then I have a block. So the block can be on the higher height, and it can also be on the lower height. So I'm going to take up to the higher height, bring it under the buttock, on the tailbone, in the center, and then walk the feet down onto the floor. So if that was a little bit hard, then either lift the hips up more, be more on the toes, or come down to that lower block. Extend the arms, roll the shoulders under. Now the shoulder blades coming forward toward the chest. So the back body helps to lift the front body. So be on the tops of the shoulders, press the feet down. Thighs are parallel. Press your arms down. Press your shoulders down. And then just allow the front body to get some space there. Front groin to open. We've done a lot of work with the hips, so now you're in this open space position versus getting that deepening. Extend the arms, balancing, bring one foot up. Keep the leg in line with the hip. Press the shoulders down, lift the chest more so that you stay grounded on the shoulders, you stay grounded on that bottom foot, and press the foot up into the ceiling as if your top foot is grounded as well. So feeling all of those places where you're creating stability. Front thigh is back. Extend the heel up. Spread the toes. Stay with your breath. And then bend the knee, bring the foot down. Change the interlacing of your fingers. Again, extend the shoulders, the hands. Balancing on that foot now. You're going to bring the other leg up, knee up toward the ceiling. Stabilize there. Feel the weight on your left and your right side of your pelvis. And then bring the leg up. So watch that you don't bring the leg too far forward. So watch the buttock. Feel the back buttock on that block. So you'll know when your leg is in line. So you want to have that leg be received into the pelvis. Chest lifting. Breath soft. And then bend the knee, bring the leg down. Come onto your toes again. Lift the block. Now turn the block to the lower height. Extend the legs out. Extend through the heels. Extend the arms. Still, you're feeling that length through the lower pelvis. So you're feeling that length through the lower pelvis. Extend the legs, extend the arms, open through the chest, breathe. And now release, bend the knees. Come onto the hips. And roll onto your side. Then come up. Cross the legs again. Now you can take the block, whatever height you need. So we're coming forward and we're going to bring the forehead onto the block, forearms on the floor. If you need more height, you can use the block to create more height for yourself. You have different options for the blocks. So have the space right between the eyebrows there and let the eyebrows move down towards your nose. So instead of the forehead lifting, forehead is descending. So here again, you're deepening, you're lengthening. The hips are grounded. And from that action of grounding the hips, you're lengthening the whole trunk forward. Important that you're just not bending forward. So take the height that you need. If you don't need that much height, then you can release down further. So everyone's body is a little bit different, so you have to understand your body and take the position with the props that you need. So if the back is rounding, then you come up higher so you can maintain that length. If you can go down lower, then you can bring the head down. And then come up. Move the block to the side. Take one of your blankets. You're going to use this for the head, back of the head. So when you lay down on the blanket, you want to have the head on the blanket all the way up to the shoulders. So the whole neck is supported. And then take your hands on your mat. Move the shoulder blades down. Rotate the arms. So there's so much rotation that the shoulder moves down, arm moves down, or arm turns up, and so do the palms. And then lengthen each leg out. Don't lengthen the leg toward the end of your mat, but just extend the leg out, straighten it, and press the heel down so that there's not a movement of the leg away from the pelvis, but as you draw the toes back towards you, keep that leg connected to the pelvis, and then the other leg. Press the heels, draw the toes back towards you, and then let the legs move out to the side. You'll just be here in Shavasana. I'll set a timer for you, so just take your time to be there. Allow yourself to release, making any adjustment anywhere that you don't feel symmetrical. And after you've made those adjustments, if you still feel a little bit either crooked Look down, make sure you're in the center. Let your legs go, let your pelvis open. Maintain that openness through the chest. And then take a few breaths there. And with each breath, let the exhalation lengthen. I'll set the timer for 5 minutes, so just be there. You'll hear the timer go off so that you'll know when to come up. Just continue to surrender with each exhalation and let go. Just be there. Be there in a state of non-doing. Namaste.